This Friday, the journey continues. Yo, what's up everyone? Clemont here. Welcome back to another Pokemon Journeys anime discussion video. As we know, guys, Ash is in the top 100 trainers in the world. And that is a pretty amazing feat for our boy. But I do want to talk about his companions. After recently watching the episode, where he battles Iris, seeing that Dawn's coming back, I actually want to take the time and think about who is Ash's strongest companions. This is where I will be ranking his companions from weakest to strongest based on both opinions and based on, battle experience, things that we've seen in the series of that nature. So let's go ahead and get right into it. For this video, I will not be using any of the AU companions, any short, temporary companions, or I will not be using Tracy because, Tracy's a cool guy, but it's Tracy. But let's go ahead and get right into it. This pains me to do this, but I have to do my favorite Sun and Moon character at the bottom of the list, and that's being Mallow. Now, I know Mallow has a great Pokemon being Serena, and she does do great in Ultra Guardian missions and things like that, but in terms of strength wise, she is definitely the weakest in the series. This shows even to her final battle with Lana in the Alola League, where her not being able to land a single move and not knowing what to do in battle, willing to give up. Mallow has a strong Pokemon, Serena, with a lot of great moves, but she's not a battler at the end of the day, which is why she's at the weakest. Yes, she has a good Pokemon. She has the potential to be great, but this is not what she wants to do. And throughout the series, yeah, she does have a few battles here and there, but this is not her goal. As we can see, Lana showed to be the superior battler. And yeah, I know it's she was in the top 16 of the Alola League, but you got to remember, that was a league where they all work together. All of Ash's companions and Gladion. So that's 7 people all working together to make it to that higher round. So that's basically how they made it that far. It's because they were all working together. Mallow was on her own. She would not have made it probably far at all. So it's sad to say, but Mallow is definitely at the bottom of the list. Following her will be Lillie. And I know a lot of people are shocked that, what? Lillie's not the weakest? Mallow is? But yeah, I get it. Lillie has a very weak Pokemon with a very bad moveset, mind you. But the thing with Lillie is that she is a strategist. For starters, she could actually land a couple of hits on Gladion. It didn't do much, but she's a strategist. She knows how to strategize in battle. We witnessed this when she fought that Tyranitar. Yes, she had the help of a Totem Sandshrew, but still, she led that battle. She strategized, and she came out on top. Even in her fight where she used Pikachu, Lillie is a strategist. She has pretty great moves. Aurora Veil is great for her. And, Lillie could go kind of farther than Mallow with her being able to strategize. Now, yes, she isn't, obviously going to be in the tops. And like Mallow, she made it to the top 16 because they were being helped. But still, I do see potential in Lillie getting better in the future. Next up, we have Sophlocles, who I actually believe is quite an pretty okay trainer. Yes, he made it to the top 8 of the Alola League, and his Vikavolt, oh man, that thing is awesome. We got to see it in action. Charjabug didn't really do too much. Togedemaru didn't really do too much, but Vikavolt went ham. Oh man, I love the moveset that he has, the Z moves. He isn't too much of a big battler either, but when it did come to strategizing, he is into technical things and looking up the best way to win. He actually did pretty good calculations. Was actually able to do pretty well in these battles. I did love his fight with Kiawe, even though he stood no chance of winning that fight. Sophocles didn't give in easily, and he did at least perform his best that he could. So yeah, Sophocles is a really, really interesting character. I do love his character development. Yeah, I know I'm talking about him lower on the list, but man, that Vikavolt definitely proved itself. Cilan is a battle connoisseur and is the first gym leader in the Unova region, meaning that, by default, he is already a pretty good trainer. But at the end of the day, he was more focused on being a connoisseur than anything. In most of the tournaments that he competed in, he would mostly make it to the top 8. There was one time he made it to the top 4, and the last one being the top 16. So, obviously, Cilan was the weaker out of Ash and Iris, who did great in those tournaments, winning multiple of them. But at the end of the day, Cilan still had a pretty okay Pokemon. Pansage did pretty good against Oshawott. Stunfisk, Crustle, they were pretty powerful Pokemon. But compared to many of Ash's other companions that have many more great achievements, yeah, Cilan is kind of lower on this list as well. Monster Ball Go! Now, Go is actually a very interesting character to kind of rank here because Go has a lot of Pokemon, a lot of great strong Pokemon. But At the same time, the connection that he makes with his Pokemon is not as strong as Ash's other companions. And because of that, that connection that you make with your Pokemon, training and things like that, really do have an effect when it's time to go in battle. Yeah, Gold does good with Golurk, Cinderace, things like that. But if you think about it, Gold's team really isn't developed. He doesn't have a team. He doesn't really have much of a game plan or strategies for battles. And that's because he isn't really focused on battles. He'll use battles if he has to reach his goal of catching Pokemon, but it's not just his go-to, as we get to see with him fighting against Kiawe. Yeah, he had a Raboot at the time, but let's be honest, Go stood no chance against Kiawe, who is much higher on this list, and we will get to later. And even more recently, Cinderace couldn't do nothing compared to Ash and Gary's Pokemon against that Moltres, showing that, Go is still a kind of incompetent trainer. He still has a lot of work to do. He's been up and down. It's this weird thing with journeys. I don't know how to put it. I won't be putting Chloe on this list because Chloe isn't really considered a companion yet. She travels from time to time, but yeah, Go is interesting. Now, Serena is also another interesting character, as she doesn't really do much with battling as well, but she does have a nice set of Pokemon and a nice moveset. Serena, with her performances, unlike May and Dawn, who do contests that kind of have some relation to battles, performances rarely have any relation to battles, which is why Serena didn't really need to compete in any too many. But there were a couple that she did compete in, and she did perform pretty well with her breaks in Sylveon and Petrum all having pretty nice movesets. I can say Serena, she is about an average Pokemon trainer. She isn't up there with some of the stronger ones like May and Dawn, but she is still able to hold her own in battle. The first 3 Sun and Moon characters I mentioned, they rarely had anything to do with battles, but the next 2, Lana, for one, is actually a pretty decent battler. She made it to the top 8 in the Alola League, and yes, she unfortunately got destroyed by Guzma brutally because of, Brutal's battle ways. Lana actually performed well in Sun and Moon. From way back when we got to see Popplio take on Wishy-Washy to in the 8th arc, where she was kind of holding her own a bit better than Sophlocles and Mallow, to even later down the line, Ultra Guardian missions, everything of the sort. Lana actually does perform pretty well in battle with her Primarina. Popplio was always a pretty interesting Pokemon to use, and yeah, we didn't get to see Eevee do much in battles as Popplio through Primarina. Eevee did have some nice moves that it was able to use against Team Rocket and Team Skull, but man, Primarina, they went through a lot of training to master that Z move, and that Z move is going to come in a lot of handy for Lana and her battles. I love how Lana was able to go against Mallow, who had the type advantage, and completely wipe her out, not even taking a single hit from Mallow. And in the fight with Guzma, yes, she got brutally destroyed, but she did strategize. She tried her best to make ways work for her, but in the end, Guzma was just the better trainer. Now, May actually does have some powerhouses on her team, with her Blaziken actually being able to tie with Ash's Sceptile in a full-on battle. But here's the thing, Blaziken is that powerhouse of the team. The rest of May's team, they are pretty good, but compared to some of the other companions, this is why I had to place her right here in the middle. She is a very good trainer. She performed in many contests. She did well. She won her contest. But at the same time, battling, we didn't get to see too much of May having just regular trainer battles from what I remember. So I can't really say May is all of that compared to Dawn. Now, Dawn is also a really good trainer. Those two are really hard to kind of see who was on top. But in the end, I had to go with Dawn, and I'll get into that later. Dynamic full flame. Good old Kiawe. Man, I love Kiawe's character a lot. And I gotta say, Kiawe definitely performed in battle. For one, look at this team. He has a Kahuna's Charizard, at that, a very powerful Charizard on his team that was able to hold his own against one of the Tapus. His Charizard, along with the rest of his team, Turtonator and Marowak, performed pretty well, making him to the top 4 in the Alola League. Kiawe and Ash trained a lot throughout Sun and Moon. Man, actually, they probably did have more battles than anyone else, even though they didn't conclude them. But seeing that Kiawe was able to train with Ash, his Pikachu, the team that Ash won the league with, and be able to hold his own against this team, does show a lot of strength for Kiawe. Even when he came back in Sun and Moon, he would have obliterated Go, but he saved him, to kind of let him off easy, to test his strength, to test to see if Go was courageous. So seeing that Kiawe knew that he could win, but decided not to just go ahead and do the final blow, shows Kiawe's strength. Now, yes, Kiawe did have an issue with rushing into a Z move here and there, but Kiawe is starting to grow. He's becoming a kahuna, and I can't wait to see more of Kiawe's character development in the series. And I hope we do get to see a full battle between him and Ash. Seeing that the fight after the Alola League between Kiawe and Ash had Charizard and Lycanroc nearly about to faint. Lycanroc, the one that won him the league, about to faint, but Charizard went down on the end. Shows that literally Kiawe is just as strong as Ash. Very soon, Best Girl will be coming back to me. Dawn actually did well in both battles and contests. Dawn in contests, even though she didn't win in the end against Zoe, she performed, man. Oh my goodness. Even being able to beat May at one point. Now, the thing with Dawn, though, is that in her battles as well, she made it pretty far in tournaments that she fought in. Literally, in the World Tournament, in the Unova region, she made it to top 8, losing to Iris's overpowered Dragonite, obviously. So, seeing that Dawn, to this day, is still this strong, and we will see her probably be battling soon against Team Rocket, the Mentori Matrix, which is also a big threat. Man, I gotta say, Dawn is amazing. Her team at that, like, literally, Piplup's moveset is freaking sick. I remember when they returned to Unova, we got to see her fight against Ash a couple times. We got to see Quilava, we got to see Memswan in action, and she was able to keep up with Ash as well. Dawn has a really amazing team, in my opinion, and one of the best teams for a companion out of all of Ash's companions. I really do love the diversity, the uniqueness. Like, you could go into battle with this team. Yeah, maybe evolve Baniri, but still, you could go into battle and do pretty well with this team. So I'm looking forward to seeing Dawn's return. I definitely think she is one of the powerhouses, and she definitely deserves to be up here amongst the top. She may be an old character, but she can definitely still hold her own in battle. Misty is definitely amongst the top 5. And I gotta say, I was actually surprised by Misty's performance in Sun and Moon. Having a mega evolution at that already puts her above many of the other companions. But the way that she battled in Sun and Moon, for one, we got to see her have better control of Psyduck and its confusion. As we know, in the original series, it was kind of a joke. It was very overpowered. But here we get to see, Psyduck about to go crazy on Mallow's Pokemon. And then in the end, she calms it down. Seeing that she has control, meaning that she could go all in and probably have destroyed Mallow and Lana in that moment. And even in the fight with Ash, yeah, Ash won at the end of the day. Let's be honest, Ash would have won that because Ash is a very competent and powerful trainer by this point. This is Sun and Moon Ash we're talking about. And Pikachu. But still, even seeing this fight, I love the way that Misty strategized, using the hurricane and the rain to make this whirlpool for Pikachu to try and have to get out. Like, Misty was a strategist. She still is a strategist. Yeah, she's the second gym leader in taking turns for the games, but that doesn't really mean much in the anime. She can battle. Like, yes, that's what we see. She uses her weaker Pokemon against Mallow and Lana. That's technically would be like her second gym leader Pokemon, but if she was going all in for a full fight, seeing her use that Gyarados, Mega Gyarados at that, shows that Misty has it in battle. We're in the top 3 now with Brock the Rock himself. Brock as well. Yes, he retired as a gym leader, but Brock still has it as well. Another trainer with a Mega Evolution. I love that Brock actually won his battle against Kiawe, because Kiawe, by this point, he was already a pretty strong trainer, but Brock showed him, just what's up. Literally withstanding a Z move, a super effective Z move at that, and still going in and defeating this Pokemon that he had no advantage over typing wise. But man, Brock is amazing in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I can't wait to see more of him. Even later on with his Sudowoodo returning, him battling against Olivia, who is, a kahuna, a very powerful Pokemon in Alola. We get to see that Brock has many skills and many strategies to show off. Yeah, he doesn't battle as much because he is trying to be a Pokemon doctor, but he still has the skills. I'm loving to see that he's still growing as a Pokemon trainer. I would love to see him rematch Ash one day. I would love to see how that would go down. It would have been cool to see Lycanroc Dust Form fight against him, but who knows? We may get to see Pikachu or somebody else fight against Brock later on in Pokemon Journeys. He may even be in the World Championship. I'm just saying, that might be a little something fun he does on the side. But still, Brock is a very powerful trainer, and I loved his return in Sun and Moon. While he may have been looked at as the underdog, Clemont is definitely the strongest gym leader that has been traveling with Ash. Yes, he's the 5th gym leader, so he's naturally already the strongest. But seeing Clemont's journey throughout Pokemon X and Y to lead up to his fight with Ash, man, that was a great one. He has really interesting Pokemon like the Heliolisk, Luxray, Bunnelby. Yeah, Chespin may be a little wacky here and there, but still, seeing his other Pokemon go in action, being able to take out Halucha and Pikachu. Literally, Ash had to use Goodra, the pseudo legendary of the region, to defeat him. The only time he had to use the pseudo legendary Pokemon. So this already tells you that, man, Clemont has the strength. Yeah, I get it. He's overlooked a lot. He's the underdog. He's the shy one. He was the comedic relief, and he didn't have much after the gym battle. He did perform in the Team Flare arc as well, though. But I love to see that Clemont, he had it, man. He was amazing. He had a lot of nice strategies. Came up with a lot of ways to counter Ash, who was at his peak for a lot of people in X and Y. So I do love to see Clemont's strength, and I hope that we get to see him again. Leaving the #1 strongest to be Bonnie herself. That's right, folks. The girl who commands Zygarde 100% form. No one is destroying her. All right, guys, I'm just kidding. Now, Bonnie is a good trainer, but she's not a trainer yet, as well as Max. This is why I'm not including them on this list. The true #1 spot definitely goes to our girl, Iris, the champion of the Unova region. Oh my gosh. I love that Iris came back as champion, as well as Ash. And here's the thing, their fight wasn't the greatest way to show off her strength. I still kind of find it odd that Ash won that fight. I think Iris should have won. You know, it was her Haxorus and Dragonite that she trained from such a long time ago to beat the league versus Ash's newly caught Dracovish and Dragonite, who wasn't newly caught, but we haven't really get to see much of it train. I still think that Iris definitely showed her strength, man. She literally went through all of the gyms and the Unova League, the Elite Four, to become this champion. You know, she has a lot of power. She's the strongest trainer in the region. And yeah, just Ash did beat her, but you got to remember, Ash is also the champion, the strongest in Alola. So it's a fight between champions. I say her loss to Ash wasn't that bad because technically she lost to a champion as well. It wasn't like she lost to some random trainer who doesn't know what they're doing. This shows Ash's growth as well in the series, which is why I love their battle so much. Her team, man. We already got to see how strong Excadrill and Imonga were. We don't really know much of Gilbo and her possible Goodra, but witnessing Dragonite and Haxorus come back. For one, her Dragonite would have beat Ash's if that fight kept going. You know, the only reason Ash won that fight is because he returned his Dragonite, because Iris's Dragonite was tanking Ash's Dragonite. Literally had it on the ground, standing over it, watching it, like, pathetic. And that's for Haxorus. Haxorus easily swept Dracovish. And in the end, Ash technically won because he learned a new move. Like, if he didn't learn Draco Meteor, I don't know how that fight would have went down. Iris probably would have won. So Ash kind of had a clutch win there. But still, I'm loving to see Iris the strongest in Unova. And I hope that we do get to see her and Ash fight once again. That's right, folks. In the end, Iris was the winner. This is my ranking of who I believe is the strongest companion for Ash. Now, I want to hear you all's thoughts in the comment section as well. Like, how would you all rank this list? Who do you think is strongest? Who do you think is weakest? Do you agree with my opinion, or do you have other opinions? I'd love to hear. Thank you all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And that's right, folks. We will be back to Pokemon Journeys this weekend. Trainman 1, peace out.